Today we are going to talk about postural mistakes that actually prevents your mommy tummy from tightening up naturally. Okay, so I'm Mommy Mango. My name is Regine Mora, but I go on all my platforms as Mommy Mango. If you're looking for me anywhere, YouTube, here, Facebook, Instagram, look up Mommy Mango. And I have helped thousands of moms strengthen and tighten their mommy tummy after dealing with this issue myself. I'm a mom of 4, and my youngest is 4, my oldest is 14. I started doing this I started getting into this whole thing after my second baby, when I realized that after a year postpartum, my stomach wasn't going back to the way I thought it should. After my first baby, everything kind of went back. I was an aerobics instructor. I ran a gym. At that time, I was working out a lot, hiking and everything with my first baby. After my second baby, I literally remember I wore my baby. I don't know about you guys, but I wore my baby all the time. I had him in the wrap for 8 months straight, I felt like, because he was nursing or I was just holding him. And I remember somebody coming to me and they were like, "You look so great. You already got back down to your shape." And what they didn't realize was that I had been wearing my baby, and though I had lost all the weight, from my legs and my arms and everything, looked like I had, gotten back to my pre-baby size. But if I took off the wrap, my stomach was literally hanging out like I was 4 or 5 months pregnant. It was kind of embarrassing because people actually thought when they saw me without the wrap on, I had people asking me if I was pregnant because I was skinny everywhere else, but I had this boom, there, and it was just really frustrating, really annoying. Anyway, so I've been on this whole journey of trying to figure out where I went wrong, because I was doing a bunch of traditional ab exercises and it wasn't helping. But anyway, today I have about 7 more minutes to talk to you about some common postural mistakes that really can make a difference in whether you heal or not. So if you check out all of the stuff on all of my platforms, even here on TikTok, you'll see I have a ton of exercises. Now, exercises are great. If you check out the link in my bio, I also have free exercises, free full-length exercises that you can try today, okay? So you can check that out. I have a bunch of information, a bunch of guides and stuff to tell you what exercises you should do, you shouldn't do. All that stuff is there in the link in my bio. But today I want to talk about something that you do all the time that affects how your mommy tummy heals and how it strengthens and tightens. The exercises are great. It's wonderful to really strengthen the deep core properly. But in between doing exercises, you're standing, you're sitting, you're doing lots of different things, and how you hold your posture can make a huge difference on whether you heal or not, okay? So when I say heal, I'm saying that because during pregnancy, really quickly, I'll go over this, we get a thing called diastasis recti. That's ab separation, where this line here goes from being a really thin separation between your abs to something wider like this, or even like this, okay? And that can cause your belly to cone here at the center. Very quickly, we'll do a quick test. If when you lean back and look down, you see coning and doming coming up through your midline. So with me right now, don't touch anything behind you. Lean back, look down. If you see coning or doming coming up through your midline, that is diastasis recti. Okay, and I can ask you here if you see that. I'll get a bunch of me's because a lot of times people don't know about it. But when you do that quick test, you find out that you have it. Now, when you realize you have that, you need to approach how you heal differently. And that's why I say heal, because we want to try to heal and get that back together, get the deep core tight so you can have that nice, flat, strong tummy that you need to support your back, support your pelvic floor and everything. Okay, so I want to look at a few common postural mistakes that I see. And I hate to call it mistakes, but it's really a pattern that we find ourselves in after having a baby. So let's go through that really quickly, because I want you to start considering how you carry yourself throughout the day so that you can carry yourself in a way that almost constantly engages your muscles properly to where you can start healing without even just focusing on the exercises. So yes, do the exercises, 10, 15 minutes, a day is all it really takes to really start seeing some success with that. But how you hold yourself throughout the day is going to make an even bigger impact, because you're holding yourself throughout the rest of the day. When you're not lying down, you're standing up, you're sitting, you're engaging different muscles. If you're constantly engaging the right muscles, it's going to make a difference, and you're going to see some tightening there, okay? Even without doing the exercises, but it's great to do it together, All right, so here's some common postures I'm going to go through. Let me see if I can stand up and if you can still see me. So if you go to a park that I go to with my kids, I low-key am going to be watching, because I like to see like how moms hold their posture while holding their baby, while holding their bag, while just standing there, because it really makes a difference on how our body heals postpartum. So during pregnancy, we find ourselves with this big belly, right? And the belly goes forward, and we have to find a way to compensate so that we don't literally like fall, right? So there are different ways that we compensate during pregnancy so that we don't fall forward with the baby bump. And this is usually what happens. We might kind of just let things hang out and just have this arch here. And we let our back kind of support and kind of take up the slack. Another thing that we might do during pregnancy with a big belly bump there is do like this, where we're just kind of really trying to hold the baby. So we kind of sway our back, we sling our hips forward, and that's something that we'll do while we're pregnant. So what happens sometimes is even after we have the baby, we're still in that posture. So we might be like this, walking around, or we might be like this, with that sway back posture, where we're sitting into our hips here, and where our muscles here are still kind of checked out, all right? And we're leaning back like this. So as you go throughout your day, I want you to check in with yourself, or even while you're at the park, kind of observe how us moms hold. Because even I, myself, on a tired day, you'll find me kind of checked out too, okay? But here's the thing. If you're standing with this posture where you're leaning and your hips are forward like this, and you sway back, all right, then your muscles here are checked out. You don't have to, you're just kind of hanging into your hips, and your muscles here are kind of checked out, okay? Same thing with this anterior pelvic tilt, the whole sexy, I'm trying to have a booty look, Not that that's what you're trying to do, but, that thing, that's relaxing and stretching out these muscles here, and so you're getting that, you're deactivating those muscles, so everything's spilling forward, so you're not using it throughout the day, and you're not getting the results that you're looking for, okay? So here's a quick tip. Okay, I have 1 more minute. Okay, this is so easy, so simple. It's simple as far as like getting it, but doing it throughout the day is going to take practice. And that's why you'll see in some of my exercises, we're going through some postural things, strengthening your deep core, because you're going to find yourself getting tired trying to just stand up straight. And it's okay. Don't feel like you have to stand up straight, be a robot, be rigid all the time. But here's something I want you to try. Just one thing I want you to start doing throughout your day, whether you're sitting, standing, whatever it is. And don't feel bad and feel like you have to do this all the time. Just practice and do it as much as you can. Eventually it'll get easier. Just like any other exercise, it'll get easier. And this isn't even an exercise, all right? Here's what I want you to do. Instead of just like, when I say stand up straight, people go like this, Don't worry about that. Pretend as though there's a string holding you by the top of your spine, because see, your spinal cord is going through, right through you. And all I want you to focus on is lengthening up, okay? So if I were like this with my anterior pelvic tilt, if I pulled up, so pretend as though somebody has a string, like I'm a puppet, and it's pulling right through my top of my head, pulling my spine up. If I'm like this, it's going to pull me up like this, okay? If I'm doing like this with a sway back, if somebody pulls me up like this, it's going to pull me in, all right? So if I pull myself up, it's going to help straighten things out, and you're going to feel your core engaged. If you try that right now, pull yourself, like pretend as though you have a string going up to the top of your head, and you're pulling your spine up, you will feel that deep core engage. Pull up. And as you do that, if you do that throughout the day, you're going to get a little workout. And because you're constantly using that muscle, the deep core muscle that wraps around your waist and cinches you in, that muscle is a postural muscle. It helps hold you upright. But if your posture is just then you're not using it. But if you're pulling up, even pretend as though you're trying to separate your pelvis from your ribs. When you do that, you're using that deep core muscle. You see how that just flattens out automatically? I feel the tightening, okay? So I'm sorry, I don't have time to answer questions today. If you have questions, feel free to send me a DM or something like that. But I hope you found this super helpful. It's really just something that you should really try to work on. See, my stomach, I feel like core, like I did a workout just now, just showing you that lengthening, okay? I hope that you felt something too, but I promise you, if you start doing that, and then just go for one more time, instead of like this, unlock those knees, lift up, pretend as though you're stretching up through here, separating those two, and that's going to make a big difference, okay? All right, guys, see you next time. Bye.